Concerts from ICMuS, and we have a fantastic lineup. We have 5 people who are going to be presenting their work and having a chat about their performances with me, Katrina McDonald, the head of performance here at ICMuS. So the first person that we have performing for us today is Luke Carey, and Luke is a guitarist, and today he's going to be playing acoustic guitar, and he's also going to be premiering his voice for the first time. And he has chosen 2 pieces of music by the Eilish family. First of all, we have a piece by Phineas Eilish called Let's Fall in Love for the Night, and that followed by Billie Eilish's Everything I Wanted.
Let's fall in love for the night and forget in the morning. Play me a song that you like, you can bet I know every line. I'm the boy that your boy hoped that you would find. Don't waste your eyes on jealous guys, fuck their noise. I'm no better than to call you mine. You need to pick me up, I'll be there in 25. I like to push my luck, so take my hand, let's take a drive. I've been living in a future, hoping I might see you sooner. I want you ride a shotgun anew, and I got one right. Let's fall in love for the night and forget in the morning. Play me a song that you like, you can bet on every line. 'Cause I'm the boy that your boy hoped that you would find. Don't waste your eyes on jealous guys, fuck their noise. I'm no better than to call you mine. I like it when you talk that nerdy shit. We're in our 20s talking 30 shit. We're in the money but we're saving it, 'cause talking shit is cheap and we talk a lot of it. We won't stay with me, I know, but you can have your way with me till you go. Before your kisses turn into bruises, I am warning. Let's fall in love for the night and forget in the morning. Play me a song that you like, you can bet I know every line. 'Cause I'm the boy that your boy hoped that you would find. Don't waste your eyes on jealous guys, fuck that noise. I know better. I know better. Oh, I know better than to ever call you mine. I had a dream, got everything I wanted. Now I think that if I'm being honest, it might have been a nightmare to anyone who might care. Thought I could fly, so I stepped off the golden. Nobody cried, nobody even noticed. I saw them standing right there. I kinda thought they might care. I had a dream, I got everything I wanted, but when I wake up I see you with me. And you say, as long as I'm here, no one can hurt you, no one will lie here, but you can learn to. If I could change the way that you see yourself, you wouldn't wonder why I'm here. They don't deserve you. I tried to scream, but my head was underwater. They called me weak, like I'm not just somebody's daughter. It could have been a nightmare, but it felt like they were right there. And it feels like yesterday was a year ago, but I don't wanna let anybody know, 'cause everybody wants something from me now, and I don't wanna let them down. I had a dream, I got everything I wanted, but when I wake up I see you you with me. You say, as long as I'm here, no one can hurt you. Don't wanna lie here, but you can learn to. If I could change the way that you see yourself, you wouldn't wonder why I'm here. They don't deserve you. If I knew it all then, would I do it again? Would I do it again? If they knew what they said would go straight to my head, what would they say instead? If I knew it all then, would I do it again? Would I do it again? If they knew what they said would go straight to my head, what would they say instead? I had a dream, got everything I wanted. When I wake up, I see you with me.
Lovely performance there from Luke. Luke, I would really like to congratulate you on being brave enough to take that step into the land of vocal work. I wondered if you could talk to us a little bit about why you chose the repertoire that you chose there, first of all.
I mean, to be honest, it was kind of something else to do. Like, I just kind of wanted to shake it up a bit, being a jazz musician mainly. I just kind of wanted to try it out, and within my like jazz repertoire, I try and keep it quite kind of like like angelic sounding songs, and so I kind of wanted to interpret that over.
Yeah, so is this something that you're thinking will feed into your final performance this year? Are you thinking you might put a vocal element in there?
Uh, possibly. Like I do want to like mainly just do it on like solo guitar, but I may.
Yeah, well,
I'll
you're getting lots and lots of supportive comments here from your peers, which is great. What I wanted to ask you was, I mean, it is a very exposing thing to do to first start using your voice, you know. I mean, for the singers that are here in the room, you know, and you know, having an instrument, I play the fiddle, but I also sing as well. And I remember that transition, you know, when you have your instrument, you have something that you're behind or you're connected to that takes the focus away. When you're a singer, it really is, it feels much more exposed in a musical kind of a way. So I just wondered what you felt was the hardest challenge in starting to include voice along with into your, well, I suppose into your guitar practice.
Well, it's definitely playing guitar and singing at the same time. I mean, if you in the video, you can see me like close my eyes. I nearly look possessed because I'm just trying to concentrate so hard. I'm like keeping everything together.
Yeah, and you really, I mean, it's not like you went in there in an easy way. That was really quite a challenging range on the songs that you'd chosen. But I mean, look, it's beautiful. The lower aspects of your timbre was really, really something. I mean, is it something that you might think about going and asking some of your friends to that are singers to give you a little bit of some tips around breath control and extending your range?
Oh, definitely. Like it's something I do want to like look into. Like I was speaking to like Mick, the guitar teacher, and he was like talking me through like what I could do. One of the things was like stand up and play. But I don't know, it just didn't feel right, and I wasn't able to like convey as much emotion as I could when I was sat down.
Yeah, that was maybe one step too far. You have to practice all these things in for quite a while before they do feel like they're second nature. But I would also just like, this is a very practical point, but obviously I couldn't see, or nobody else could see your right hand on the video. I think that's just important that we can see You were doing some incredible fret work, strumming work there, you know, and it would have been really nice to have seen it fully in the shot. If you can remember that for next time, would be great. But really super, well done. We're going to move on to the next person. Now, I haven't managed yet to talk to Bruce, so I've asked Bruce Lamble-Rudd, who's the next performer, to introduce the two sets that he's going to play today. So Bruce, are you here in the audience somewhere? Great.
Yeah, so I'm going to play two sets. The first is a Norwegian tune, a Halling, which is for a solo dance. And the name, it's got a very long, hard to pronounce name. I think it's Lugumlaki Hallingtakt, something along those lines. And the second set is two tunes. The first one I wrote, and when you're in a family of folkies, a lot of your birthday gifts you give to other people are tunes you've written. So that tune was one I wrote for my mum a year or so ago. It's called The Sand Dancer because she's from South Shields. And then there's a tune after that, which is by one of my Melodian heroes, Andy Cutting. And it's a tune called Oakley. So I hope you enjoy.
Great playing there, Bruce. Thank you for that. I can see in the chat here a lot of people saying that it was lovely to hear this instrument. And unless you're a folk performer, you might not have actually come across this instrument so much. So it would be lovely, Bruce, just to give a very quick, brief description of what your instrument is, what it's even called, would be good.
Yeah, so it's a melodeon or diatonic accordion in some places. Very similar to the large piano accordion, but diatonic has different notes, push or pull, and is usually 2 rows and is limited to 2 keys in their surrounding modes. But you can have more buttons if you're feeling a bit more adventurous. But yeah.
That's really great. And I was kind of struck, especially with the first set that you did, the introduction to it. There was some really beautiful dissonant moments. And can you talk to us a little bit about how you're challenging yourself, or if you're challenging, are you conscious of that you're trying to stretch some of the harmonic kind of textures that you're using?
Yeah. So a lot of the repertoire that I'm using is like dance tunes and stuff picked up from my year abroad last year in Norway. And the tunes themselves are interesting rhythmically and melodically, but it's quite nice, especially if you take them down to a different tempo and space them out a bit. Um, and yeah, kind of build up to them rather than just going straight into dance with them. And you can get some nice dissonance or like slow chordal moments, I guess. Just experimenting.
Brilliant. And talk to me a little bit more about your year abroad. I mean, there's several people in the room here that have been on year abroads, but also people who are hoping at some point in the future to perhaps go on a year abroad. What were your kind of main takeaways? You went to Rauland Academia, which is in Telemark in Norway, a specific folk course. Can
Yeah.
you just tell us what you think the main points were and how maybe you're developing and putting them into your own playing?
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't really looked at a lot of Norwegian folk music before I went out there, but it looked like a great place and a great opportunity. So it was interesting. I had an amazing time there, and having music lessons in a completely different repertoire, dance lessons as well to get you more involved in the repertoire as well. It was such a different scene that I found it really really interesting. And in terms of it's given a completely new side to what I would have done in my final year, um, because I already have my tradition areas that I'm already set interested in and would have made up my repertoire. So having this new totally different side to it it was a good year for performance practice, but also it gave me access to a new varied repertoire as well.
Yeah, and there were a few people actually that were commenting on the kind of embodiment of your playing, and that's something I would say to everybody. That's one of the things that we can do in this kind of videoed environment is really look at ourselves of how we move on stage. I mean, I think a lot of you had seen me in a lunchtime concert performance. I mean, I don't stand still. I can't stand still. I mean, do you think talking about having danced to music and things like that, do you think that is helping you to actually I think we all know that, you know, this kind of feeling that you can let yourself go enough in when you play. I mean, I feel it's a good thing for the body anyway, that we release some of that tension that we can have when we play. You know, but there's all sorts of varying degrees of how much you move. But do you think that's improved?
Yeah, I'd say so. Having more dance practice, it comes a lot more naturally, rhythmically when playing. But also as the degrees progress, I've definitely got a lot more comfortable with performing. So I wasn't a very confident performer when I joined the course, but as soon as it just over time through the playing side and the dancing side, you can sort of get a lot more into it and have a stronger rhythmic side to it as well.
Well, I think you can see from the comments that you've been getting, Bruce, that it's much appreciated by everybody who's in this space today. So really great stuff. Okay, we're going to now move on to classical voice, and we have Bridget Boland, who is going to be singing 2 songs, very contrasting material, true ICMuS style. I just love that. We're first of all going to hear a classic aria, Un moto di gioia, from the Mozart's Marriage of Figaro. And then we're going to hear an extract from The Telephone by Minotti.
Hi, my name is Bridget Boland. The first piece I will be singing is Un moto di gioia by Mozart. Un moto di gioia mi sento nel petto che non sia diretto in mezzo al timor. Speriamo che contento finisca l'affanno, non sempre tirano. Il fatto è d'amor, il fatto è d'amor. Un moto di gioia mi sento nel petto che non sia diretto in mezzo ai timor. Speriamo che in contento finisca l'affanno, non sempre tirano. Non sempre tirano, il fatto è d'amor. Il fatto è d'amor, il fatto è d'amor, il fatto è d'amor. The next piece I will be singing is from Minotti's The Telephone. Excuse me. Hello. Oh, Margaret, it's you. I am so glad you called. I was just thinking of you. It's been a long time since you called me. I cannot come tonight. No, my dear, I'm not feeling very well. Where? I wish I could be there. I'm afraid I must not. Hello. What did you say, my darling? What did you say? Hello. Please speak louder. I heard the funniest thing. Jane and Paul are going to get married next July. Don't you think it is the funniest thing you ever heard? I know. Of course. And how are you? And how is John? And how is Jean? You must tell them that I send them my love. And Goodbye, my dear, goodbye. I am so glad you called. I was just thinking of you. It's been a long time since you called me. Yes, you already told me that. No, my darling, of course I won't forget. Yes, yes, goodbye, my dear, goodbye. Yes, my darling, goodbye. Yes. Ha ha. Ha ha. That's the funniest thing I ever heard. And how are you? And Bets and Bob and Sarah and Sam? You must tell them that I send them my love. And how is the pussycat? How is the dog? Oh, I'm so glad. Goodbye. Yes, Margaret. All right, goodbye. All right, goodbye. Yes, Margaret, goodbye. Oh, 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 oh. So long. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks.
Well done. Fantastic work there, Bridget. I just wanted to have a little chat with you about, very contrasting pieces. And of course, that first piece, the Mozart, would sit much easier or happily in a large concert room or the recital room or the King's Hall. And I just wondered how you are finding as a classical singer the kind of challenges of singing that type of repertoire at home in your kitchen.
It's really hard. Yeah, it's really hard. Kind of not having like an accompanist there with you to start with is really weird, because like you have to get to know your backing tracks so well for any pauses or any like cadenzas that you do at all, and then like not having the space that you're used to projecting in is weird. So like when you're used to singing in like the recital room of the King's Hall, doing it like in your kitchen where you've only got like a certain amount of space that you're not used to kind of filling differently it's really weird.
Yeah. Do you find anything positive out of that? I mean, thinking around intonation and, how your voice is, because we can, we all love the big boomy reverberant space, when we play and things like that. But do you feel the drier kind of environment? Is that challenging you to review intonation and tone and stuff like that more?
Yeah, it's less forgiving. So you've kind of not got as much like kind of wiggle room with intonation and or diction, really. You kind of like all of your mistakes are kind of much more obvious in a smaller space because it doesn't kind of get washed around. It's like this sound is like right here. So you kind of everything comes back to you really quickly, and you kind of it's a bit easier to fix it than in a big space.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that there are some things that really, enjoy it in some ways, because that technically, it is going to help you around those areas. So obviously the venue of the kitchen actually suits the Minetti so well. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that piece? I mean, brava for getting through that piece, and just so convincing. It was just lovely, so conversational. So can you talk to us a little bit about the Minotti piece?
Yeah, so it's from a 1947 one-act comic opera with just two characters, Ben and Lucy. And that comes from pretty early on in the opera, where Ben is trying to have like a really important conversation with Lucy because he's about to go traveling and he wants to like confess his feelings to her, and she keeps getting distracted. And he's like really trying to get this point across, but then her friend Margaret calls. So she's like just completely cuts him off, like mid conversation to have this like really like banal gossipy conversation with Margaret, and he's just like, I am trying to have a conversation with you. So it's kind of, that's the kind of context, and it's just quite, there's like absolutely no substance to the call at all, and she like ended this big emotional conversation that he's trying to have just to like talk about the fact that it's funny that like Jane and Paul are getting married. Like it's just quite, I find it quite funny.
Well, honestly, I mean, you did that with a great amount of panache. You certainly got it over. It was not banal at all. It was a really, really inspiring, your approach to it. How about things like the props and the stage performance? I mean, you were involved with the Baroque opera, which I know eventually didn't get its performance in quite the way that you'd expected. But did you feel that some of the work that you did last year around movement and things is feeding into this work?
Yeah, I feel like that module kind of taught me, at least, like how to be like more present in your body when you're singing, and knowing more about what your body's doing while you're singing, so you don't kind of do something weird and not be natural. Because even though we were doing like Baroque performance and Baroque gesture, you still are like trying to tell a story convincingly. So I think kind of learning that over last year kind of helped with kind of getting my head around a piece like this year.
Mm-hmm. And it would be interesting, I mean, this is just my own personal view of going back to the Mozart with the things that you're doing within the Menotti. I mean, obviously it's very, very different, but, you know, there's something about sometimes classical song, you know, that we can go into a certain kind of rigidity in our body. And I would really encourage you, Bridget, to just let it flow free between them all. You know, you cannot overdo the kind of movement. I mean, obviously it is usually staged, the Marriage of Figaro and things. So, you know, feel free to really experiment around with the Mozart too, as regards that. Yeah. Thank you so much. That was really, really fun. I could see a lot of people were enjoying that. And the musical laugh, lots of people were talking about that, about how you just managed to use your laugh so well there. Really great. So we're going to move on to the fourth performer today, and we have Dan Wright. Hi, Dan. Dan is going to perform two pieces, the first of which is a vocoder piece, Creeks by Bon Iver. I hope I've pronounced that okay. And then the second piece is an original piece by Dan, and he's using what he's telling me is his more normative practice, which is around improvisation. And we're going to talk a little bit afterwards. I think it's called That Feeling.
Down along the creek, I remember something. Higher the heaven, I weave away. When first I reached that last Sunday, oh, low moons on the yellow road, I remember something. That eve wasn't even all I needed in my vines, and I certainly believe as if now is not the time. Ooh, toiling with your blood, I remember something. And maybe a Russian kissing on a night second to last. Hand in both your hands, the second sun came past the glass. The whole time it was going right, as though I had you in my grasp. Holding how we gonna cry when it once might not mean something. And love at second glance, it is not so. and next I'm going to play a work in progress original called That Feeling. Cheers.
Great work there, Dan.
Cheers.
Really super. So you're talking to a folkie here. I obviously am very kind of impressed by your use of technology and everything. Could you talk a little bit more about the use of the vocoder and how that's kind of feeding into your performance at the minute?
Yeah, so I got into vocoder and that kind of thing in like my own practice about like 6 months ago and just started developing it. That's running through Ableton Live. There was a little bit of latency that you might have been able to tell like through the vocals coming into the amp just with technical problems with Ableton and my setup. But I just set up through Ableton with a MIDI keyboard and with a mic, and it's just really fun to play around with. And I'm kind of working with that kind of sound in my composition at the minute.
Is it kind of just giving you an extra kind of texture in your arrangements?
Yeah, for that second song, I don't usually use vocoder and kind of autotune or anything like that in those kind of songs, but it was a setup I had while I was just kind of improvising those bass lines and things, and it worked for what I was doing. So like, I don't know, I like either working with loads of harmony by layering vocals or using something like a vocoder to simulate that.
That's great. And I mean, hey, it is challenging for us all working on our own at the moment. And I just wondered if you could talk a little bit to that. I mean, I don't know much of your music, Dan, but I would imagine, you enjoy creating music like we all do with other people.
Yeah.
So how do you think, are there good things that are coming out of having to do this all on your own, or?
I think there are, yeah. That was a bit of a stress to get all that together. I changed like my kind of set about 3 times trying to work out what I was going to play. Just because some of the songs that I had planned on playing, I felt like I couldn't do justice without a band and that kind of thing. But then that means that like I got to work a bit more on my own sound, and I am working a lot more with my setup there of loops and things like that than I usually would, whereas I'd usually rely on other people and just fill in. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a challenge we're all finding at the minute, and
yeah,
actually, maybe finding out that you can do a lot of this, things to kind of feed forward into eventually when we can play live, not to forget the great music that you're making in this kind of environment, which is great. So the other thing that I wanted to ask you was, so for kind of going forward from now, what's your next thing that you're going to work on?
Next, I am working on kind of instrumental piano pieces or kind of e-piano Wurlitzer for like my recital, but also I'm hoping I can do something like that original in my recital at the end, but with more of a focus on keys. So that's kind of something to work on next.
Brilliant. Well, everybody really enjoyed your performance there. You've got some really
Thanks,
nice
everyone. Yeah.
supportive comments there. Great. So we are coming to the end of the performances today, and we have another vocal performance now from Chiro Hilton. From Lucy Mulcair. Sorry, written down the wrong name here. So Lucy, I had really enjoyed your last performance in the student concert before Christmas, and we're again going to hear some contemporary voice here. So the first song is called Don't Watch Me Cry by Georgia Smith, and the second song is a jazz song called All I Could Do Was Cry by Etta James. And then finally, we have the last song, which is Angela. And this is something that's a reimagined, reworked arrangement for today. So let's have a little.
Hello, I'm Lucy Miller. First piece of my performance today will be Don't Watch Me Cry by Georgia Smith. I sang this in first year and I thought I'd repeat this again in third year and to show my development, and hope you enjoy. Thank you. Oh, it hurt the most 'cause I don't know the cause. Maybe I shouldn't have cried when you left and told me not to wait. Oh, it kills the most to say that I still care. Now I'm left trying to rewind the times you held and kissed me there. I wonder if you're thinking, is she alright? Oh, Have I ever crossed your thoughts because your name's all over mine? A moment in time, don't watch me cry. A moment in time, don't watch me cry. I'm not crying 'cause you left me on my own. I'm not crying 'cause you left me with no one. I'm just crying 'cause I can't escape what could have been. Are you aware when you set me free? All I can do is let my heart bleed. Oh, it's harder when you can't see through the thoughts. Not that I wanna get in, but I wanna see how your mind works. No, it's harder when they don't know what they've done. Thinking it's better they leave, meaning that I'll have to move on. No, I wonder if you're thinking, is she alright all alone? I wonder if you tried to call but couldn't find your phone. Have I ever crossed your thoughts because your name's all over mine? A moment in time, don't watch me cry. A moment in time, don't watch me cry. I'm not crying 'cause you left me on my own. I'm not crying 'cause you left me with no one. I'm just crying 'cause I can't escape what could have been. Are you aware when you set me free? All I can do is let my heart bleed.
Thank you. Second song I'm going to sing is called All I Can Do Is Cry by Etta James. It's a little bit different to what I would normally sing, even though it's a sad song, but it's in a jazz style and it's a bit happier, so hope you enjoy.
I heard church bells ring. I heard a choir singing. I saw my love walk down the aisle on a finger. He placed a ring. Whoa, I saw them holding hands. She was standing there with my man. I heard them promise till death do us part. Each word was a pain in my heart. All I could do was cry. All I could do was cry. I was losing the man that I loved, and all I could do was cry. And now the wedding is over. Rice has been thrown over their heads. For them, life has just begun, but mine was at an end. All I could do
could do was cry. All I could do was cry. I was losing the man that I loved, and all I could do was cry. My third song is called Angela by the Lumineers. They've got Adam on the corn helping here and this is Sharon on the piano. When you left this town with your windows down and the wilderness inside, let the exes pass, so the tar and glass, to the road and skies and light. The strangers in this town, they raise you up just to cut you down. Oh, well, July's a long time coming, and your Volvo lights in the green and white, the city's on the sides, and you held your course with some distant walls in the corners of your mind. The second time around, the only love I ever found. Oh, well, July's a long time coming, homeless. You're safe and warm in your coat of arms and your fingers in a fist. Did you hear the noise or those static codes in the radio abyss? The strangers in this town, they raise you up just to cut you down. Oh, and July's a long time coming. Oh, and July spent your whole life running away, homeless. Thank you for listening. That was Adam Critchlow and Cherry Hilton. Thanks very much.
That was a fabulous song to end today's concert on. It's really, really great. Thanks. Apologies to Charo previously for giving him a heart attack, thinking that he was about to perform something, but I'm glad to see he made an appearance there. Really great work from the other people that were performing with you there. So, Lucy, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about how you found the video format for you. I can see you have a mic there, and you're obviously in the first two songs having to listen to the keyboard in the acoustic space, and whether there were any kind of challenges around that for you, as in trying to, know where your voice is in relation to that.
I think recording for this one's definitely a lot easier than the last one, because the last one I did it with backing tracks, whereas this time I'm able to do it with people that I'm living with, because they can play for me, so it's a lot easier to perform with that. So it still makes it feel a bit live, but not
It
really.
certainly did. I think we all appreciated that. It's just wonderful to hear and to just feel that energy that you get when you get a bunch of people in a room making music together. It was just so nice. Reminds us of life as it used to be and will be one day, hopefully soon. So the format there, I just wondered, were you able to hear, because obviously you've got your piano along the wall there, when you were singing on the mic away from the piano, was there enough volume coming out? Because obviously you don't have a monitor. You would have had that if you were in another venue.
I could hear it as I was singing, but like I just heard it back. The piano was quite quiet actually, so it could have probably done with being a bit louder. But the microphone sound was coming from like the other end of the room, so it wasn't like right in my face or anything. So it was all right, really.
Yeah, great. And I just wanted to talk to you also a little bit about revisiting old material, because I think we all come to this kind of point when we're performers. We're always going forward and we're always trying to learn new things, and but there is a lot of interesting challenges, I suppose, and pitfalls of going backwards and doing things that you've done previously. So can you talk a little bit? There were two of the pieces, weren't there, that you've tackled before, and what you feel as though you've got out of it, revisiting those.
So I sang Don't Watch Me Cry in first year, and like I rewatched my recital from first year and thought like, oh my god, like that was terrible. So like thought I'll do it again in third year to try and show like a direct comparison of like if I have actually like made any improvements over the time I've been here and things like that, which I did enjoy. And I think like my confidence has grown, so I'm not as scared of like going high and things like that, whereas I used to be like terrified of that. And then the last song I did in the last student concert, but I just thought I'd do it again because I could now have someone playing the piano for me and then someone else playing the cajon, so it was just like more like kind of giving the song more justice in a way.
Absolutely, that's fantastic. Do you feel that there's any pitfalls about going back to old material? I don't know how anybody else in the room feels about that, but
I
were there any kind of negative things that you had to kind of get over?
Because it could be just the same old thing, like it could just be boring, but I think it's good because you can like learn directly from it, like you can literally change things and like do different techniques and do different like change the rhythms and melodies in here and stuff like that and all that stuff. But I think it's good to repeat things, really.
I do too. I think sometimes we can be so focused on learning something new, going backwards to material that we've done before, and totally and utterly, as you say, with developed technique and everything. It's a great practice to do. So well done on that. That was a lovely piece to end today's performance. Really enjoyed this. This is just one of my best parts of the week, coming in here as head of performance and actually starting to hear what you all sound like, and it is lovely work. Very, very, very good. So have a lovely, I think this is bringing us to the end of today. We have a full programme again next week, so I will see you next Thursday. Take care, everybody.